So one of the most important and impactful areas in our lives that we can focus on if we want to have more success or more of essentially the things that we want is our sense of deservingness or worthiness. And if we fail to look at that, sometimes we can sabotage ourselves and essentially block good things from coming to us and really block nourishment from coming to us as well. So what we're going to do in this video is look at the roots of this and how it's kind of put into our minds and then how we can sort of break out of that. So as I mentioned before, having a kind of messed up ideal of deservingness or worthiness basically blocks out good things which are wanting to come to us and basically saying no to nourishment which is wanting to come to us as well. So we say, no to things and basically stay stuck in sort of stagnation. And this can really apply to any area of life, whether it's relationships or health or money or abundance or any aspect, essentially. So then where are the roots? And where does this come from and how are we programmed with this kind of mindset? So first, it starts off with our parents, and then it goes to our school, and then it eventually, in work, same thing, and then eventually with, church and God and that whole aspect. In reality, it's all one and the same thing and one and the same game, and it basically says that, here's the rules. If you follow them, here's the reward. Here's the rules. If you don't follow them, here's the punishment. So if you want this, this is the path that you have to take and this is what you must do. But in reality, that's not always true, because there can be many different paths or many different ways of doing things. So the main point of that is, and the main thing we take away is that you can only have X after you've done Y. So what does that mean? You can only have whatever you want, or you can have the money or the success or the savior or the redemption or the love or the approval, etc., if you've been good enough or you've worked hard enough or you've suffered enough. And basically underlying all of the different arenas which I've just described is this whole idea that in order to really have something or to get something or attract something, it has to be hard, or has to be a struggle. And that really ties into the whole idea of, well, you can only have this if you've been good enough or you've worked hard enough or you've suffered enough. But in reality, the truth of the matter is that we deserve and we're worthy of whatever we want simply because of the fact that we exist. And this is something that I've talked about a lot in previous videos, and it's really this sort of demonic sphere of consciousness versus the more cosmic realm of consciousness. And hopefully, so far, I've been able to accurately show and demonstrate each one. So in reality, that's not to say that there isn't value in, focus, determination, dedication, and hard work, because obviously, if you want to be a millionaire, you're going to need a certain amount of skills to be able to do that. If you want to be a concert musician, it's going to take a certain amount of dedication and time and energy, etc., to be able to accomplish that. So obviously there is a common sense element to that. And I'm not saying that you can sit in your room all day and say, I deserve $1 million. I deserve to be a billionaire. And then all of a sudden someone's going to knock on your door. Oh yeah, I heard you said you deserved $1 billion. Here it is. Well, that's part of the puzzle. And it's obviously not the whole piece of the puzzle, or it's not the whole puzzle, I'm sorry. And I only point it out because some people are probably going to watch this and take away and say, oh, well, I'm just going to deserve everything, and then every sudden, things will just show up. Well, yeah, that helps. But the main point I'm trying to make is that if you're taking actions, if you're taking steps to move in the direction of things that you want, this is an important part of, important piece to analyze and to think about and to really examine. Because sometimes things are right there in front of us or around us, but because we have this deserving or this lack of worth, we say, no, I can't do this, or no, I can't have that, because in the back of our mind we feel like, oh, well, I'm not really good enough, who am I to deserve that, or I haven't worked hard enough, or, I just haven't suffered enough. And that's really not true. It's just something that was put into our heads and kind of pre-programmed by the sort of system or conditioning structure which I outlined before. So hopefully that's been helpful. Hopefully I've been able to explain it pretty clearly something I've been thinking about a bit lately, and it's really something I've thought about a lot over the last, many years. And I can tell you that if you invest the time to think about this and to pay attention to this in yourself, you will see differences and changes and shifts and transformations in your external world. So, like I said, you might think, well, how would that be? But oftentimes things can be right around us and we just might not see them. So, again, hopefully that's been helpful. It's been helpful for me. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll talk to you soon.